Broadcasting live from an elk on the plain of Eldraine, this is Tap Tap Concede.
Lol, jokes.
Technically, Oko can't target land, but that's beside the point.
Well, I mean, you just have to... Actually, there was a deck that was liquid metal coating lands and then turning them into elks.
Oh my god.
So that's pretty messed up.
That's filthy.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Graham here.
James here.
Ben here.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about all kinds of different things, but the big one is Pioneer. Because last week was the nicknames episode. Thanks again to everybody who participated in that, whether you were submitting nicknames or just upvoting, and thanks everybody who listened. It's always a fun time. But now we get to talk about Pioneer, which is why we brought Ben in, local constructed expert.
Sure. Yeah, I guess between us.
Expert,
I'll take that level. Yeah, hell yeah.
And we're going to talk about some other stuff as well. First of all, of course, a reminder that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Do check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. That lets them know we sent you, and we send you because they're great. I was just down there for the Chalice fundraising event. The Chalice this year raised over $61,000 for Serious Fun Camps. That was an awesome time. I got my butt kicked on camera by Brad Nelson, who,
Like one does.
Who got I wish it had been mic'd because we had very funny table banter.
He's a really good guy.
We had a great rapport, but my favorite was I tried to cast Once Upon a Time at the end of his first turn, and he was like, "No, what are you doing? Stop it!
Nice.
Put that back in your hand. Draw your card for the turn first, then cast it." Okay, I'm not trying to get you here. I just can't allow you to do that. Which is great because the rest of the time he was playing with me with the food deck.
Sure.
I was running the Oko deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said this multiple times, but I determined that my role in the Chalice was to lose with Oko on camera, thereby providing catharsis to the viewers.
I think that was a good way to go about it.
Yeah. So that was a super fun time, and this show is also brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thanks always for supporting this and all the things we do, magic or otherwise. So, I guess let's quickly get through a crack-a-pack because we have much to discuss.
Yeah.
James, here you go.
All right. And
Do the rolly thing. Roll right out the door. Nope. Oh,
7.
All righty.
That's a lucky number some places.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Today, is it lucky? It is, well, Torment.
Cool.
Huh. That's kind of lucky, I
Definitely
guess.
before my magic time.
This was given to us by Ohanan or Danon? Is that a D or an O?
Like
I think it's a D.
I think it's a D.
Danon from
Yeah.
PAX East 2019. And this is a pack of Torment with a Sengir Vampire on the front.
What was the chase stuff of Torment?
You got me. Definitely this one. I don't know. Skywing Aven, which was recently reprinted, if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah, this had discard matters stuff.
It's a Skywing Aven is a 2/1 for 2 and a blue, flying, and you can discard a card from your hand to return Skywing Aven to its owner's hand. This was this when was this reprinted? This is recent. I know this was reprinted.
It was
recently
in a
New
Masters.
Was it?
Set,
Okay.
I want to say.
Cool. That seems like reasonable. I assume there's some sort of reason that discard matters in Torment.
Yeah.
Ultimate and Vintage Masters.
Ultimate Masters. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uma.
All right. Waste Away is 4 and a black for an instant. As an additional cost, discard a card from your hand. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn.
Man, power creep.
Woof. 5 mana and discard a card.
We're
to
very
give -5/-5.
We're very spoiled with Obnixilus's cruelty now.
Apparently, yeah. Wow. All right. Longhorn Fire Beast is 2 and a red for a 3/2. When it comes into play, any opponent may have it deal 5 damage to him or her. If a player does, sacrifice Longhorn Fire Beast. So yeah, speaking of power creep, Vexing Devil would like a word.
Yeah. Why was a 3/2 for 3 like that scary of a thing?
It's like, I don't know, you know what? I'll just take 5 now and
Sure.
and can't have that creature.
I'm thinking the art though.
Oh yeah.
The art's sweet.
Yeah.
This is some weird art. Floating Shield. What is happening in here?
It looks like a stone rain is happening.
This is very abstract.
Yeah.
It does look like a stone right now.
I've never seen this card before.
No. 2 and a white for a creature enchantment. As Floating Shield comes into play, choose a color. Enchanted creature has protection from that color, and this effect doesn't remove Floating Shield.
So you can choose pro-white.
You can choose white. Sacrifice Floating Shield. Target creature gains protection from the chosen color until end of turn. So later you can cash it in, but it has to be the same color.
Oh,
to give a different creature the protection.
Right.
Interesting.
Or you can give it to yourself of a different color if you wanted to.
No, because it's the chosen. It's the same
Yeah,
color
it's
you
a chosen
chose.
color, yeah.
Oh, of the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you choose the color once, and then but it's
Okay.
I'm still trying to parse this image. It looks like the musket is in mid-fire. There's like clouds. Is it a
Yeah.
musket? What is the person holding?
It looks like a short gun.
a giant turkey drumstick. I have no. Okay, sure.
Yum, yum, yum.
Cabal Torturer is next.
Oh, I like these dudes.
1 black for a 1/1 minion. For a black and tap, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. That seems very strong.
seems very
That's
strong.
irritating in combat. And if you have Threshold, which is to say 7 or more cards in your graveyard, for 3 black and tap, the target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. That's quite a cost increase, but
That is,
this seems
yeah.
very strong just on the face
I
of
mean,
it.
there's your discard matter kind
yeah,
of stuff, right?
no kidding.
Yeah,
Fill up the bin.
repeatable minus is very good.
Yeah. Frantic Purification. This guy does seem like he's in a bit of a frenzy. 2 and a white for an instant. Destroy target enchantment. Ah, there you go. Madness for a single white.
Hey.
Sure.
Okay, so graveyard matters, I guess, in Torment.
Madness. There we are. Unhinge. This man's jaw. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target player discards a card from his or her hand, and you draw a card. Okay.
That's strict card advantage.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
I would play this. Would I play this? Would you play this over? What is it? It's the 2 and a black discard
Just
2.
mind rot.
Mind rot. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
They only pitch 1, but it replaces itself in your hand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Enslaved Dwarf. Whoa, this is a little kinky. Single red mana for a 1/1 dwarf who's being led around by some sort of
I really like this art.
very
it's a Therese Nielsen.
very
okay.
elven-looking other person. All right. So anyway, for a single black enslaved dwarf, single black and sack enslaved dwarf, target black creature gets +1/+0 and first strike until end of turn. That's very odd.
That's very interesting.
Every part of this is odd.
Not a very good card.
No.
Interesting art.
Dwarves don't get very good cards. Like
No.
there's a couple of okay ones, but yeah.
Obsessive Search.
Oh,
yeah.
dope.
Single blue mana, draw a card, instant, madness, single blue mana.
Card sweet.
Great. That just is great for using for all the discard things because it just replaces itself and it's cheap. Croson Restorer. 2 and a green for a 1/2 druid. Tap to untap target land. Threshold. Untap up to 3 target lands.
Wow.
This is part of a combo somewhere, isn't it?
Probably.
Surely. It must be.
The art is so good. That's like peak like fantasy.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, here we are in the uncommons. It's Arrogant Worm, which I choose to believe
Is a reference?
is a reference considering that they're from Redmond, and that's not far from Canada. 3 green for a 4/4 with trample. Cool. But madness for a mere 2 and a green.
The card's like a buck.
Yeah.
The idea of like being able to have that Aven out and then like it gets targeted by a spell and you discard an Arrogant Worm and
Yeah.
play the Arrogant
Surprise.
Worm to replace it, like
This was also later color shifted into red as
a Tremor
some
worm?
other kind of worm. I mean, it's because it's just color shifted. So
that
it's
one was
3
an
red
Enigma.
red for a 4/4 trample with madness for 2 and a red, but I don't remember what it was called. But yeah,
It was an Uma. I think I know which one you're talking about.
because I think I put it into my janky Ballard commander deck because I was just trying to get anything in red that cared about discarding. But,
Right.
Yeah. Strength of Isolation is 1 and a white for Reckless Worm. Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul. Thank you. Cool. All right. So Strength of Isolation, 1 and a white creature enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +1/+2 and pro black, and madness for a single white. A creature enchantment with madness. That means you could use this as a combat trick.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I dig it.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Don't know how easy it would be to get that off, but
Cephalid Illusionist. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 Cephalid Wizard. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. 2 and blue and tap. This turn, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and by target creature you control.
I don't know what the name of the deck is, but I know that this is a combo card.
Cephalid Breakfast?
Yes. Yeah. This is the one. This is the self-mill card.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And check this out. We have a foil and a rare. So our foil is Hydromorph Guardian. This is back when the foiling was like just the border, which is
I
kind
really like
do-
it.
I love that foiling. Yeah.
2 and a blue for a 2/2 Guardian. And for a single blue and sack it, counter target spell that targets one or more creatures you control.
Sweet.
Cool.
That's a good card.
All right.
Is Guardian still its type?
Almost assuredly not. I'm betting elemental.
You are correct.
Hey.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. I was like, look at that art. That looks like a water elemental. And our rare, which is probably still a nightmare horror, is Laquatus's Champion. Bear with me on this one. 4 black for a 6/3 noodly appendaged beefer. When
Yeah, it kinda
Laquatus's Champion...
Kind of
What?
looks like Ben from the most recent Friday Nights.
Oh, yeah, with the tentacles on either
Yeah.
side. There you go.
Yeah, but like way more swole.
When Laquatus's Champion comes into play...
Ben, who didn't discover World of Warcraft.
Target player loses 6 life. When it leaves play, that player gains 6 life, and you can pay 1 black mana to regenerate Laquatus's
I
Champion.
feel like we've talked about this card on this show before.
So
Potentially. This is an
regenerate
episode-
doesn't mean it leaves play,
No, it doesn't.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So you can't just like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you cast it with 7 mana, so you can keep the regen up, and then... I mean, by the time you get to 6 mana, if you're in the right deck, you might just kill them when this comes into play.
Yeah.
So...
By the way, we were looking for Cabal Coffers.
okay.
Uncommon in the set that's worth $50. apparently.
$50?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that just the one that like you tap it and it gain?
You add
mana
a bunch
equal
of
to
black
your-
mana, yeah.
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one that actually has. And it's shown up on Paper Fight a few times in Commander decks, where it doesn't actually. But there's always the thing where it's like, is it? Should I do it now? Should I do it now?
Yeah.
Is it worth it yet?
Well, there's
How much mana do I... Yeah, because
On the
there's
last
a recent
one-
one that was fixed a bit.
it for Dominaria.
Yeah, which was...
Cabal Shrine. I don't know. I know, but
Yeah.
that taps for a colorless.
Yeah, they reprinted a quote fixed one recently, yeah.
But the
In
but
Dominaria.
the Coffer's effect is 3 mana instead
Right,
of 2.
and Coffers doesn't do anything by itself. It doesn't
Yeah.
even tap for mana on
Yeah,
its own.
correct, yeah.
So you need to have the critical mass of, yeah. Anyway, so lots to talk about, such as a bold new way to play Magic the Gathering, Mana Strike. I just found out about it. Do you know what this
downloaded it.
is?
I downloaded
You
it.
downloaded
Wait,
it?
I
Yeah,
have no
it's-
idea
it's-
what you're
it's-
talking
it's
about.
on my phone.
It's a Korean mobile game.
Yeah.
So it was licensed by some mobile app developer.
Okay.
By
It's, it's,
Netmarble.
oh, Netmarble. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's Wizards.
It's auto chess.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Apparently it's fine.
Yeah. I played it for about 3 seconds this morning. I mean, I'm impressed with like the performance and how it looks, but
No way.
Yeah.
I guess I'll play with it a
All
little
right,
bit more.
I'll download that later.
So yeah, I literally found out about it and watched the 30-second trailer just before we came in to record, and I was like, I'm gonna get him.
I literally was laying in bed this morning scrolling through my grams. And
Oh,
that's where
get on
I
the
saw
gram.
that's where I
Wicked.
saw an ad for it. I was like, what the hell is this?
Targeted advertising.
How have I not heard or seen this at all? And
Well,
I'm like, oh, because it just came out. So I clicked on the download button and I opened it up and I was like, oh, okay, so Nicol Bolas is a bad guy. They got a cool little like cinematic intro.
It hits the double whammy of why I haven't
neat.
been playing auto chess lately because I was playing a bunch of it.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
And the first one is that I would need to be able to play on mobile, so that's why I started playing the auto chess.
Yeah.
the Chinese one.
Right.
And then League came out with theirs.
They're releasing TFT for mobile. Yeah.
They are, yeah. But also, I'm like, on League now. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really care about the brand anymore.
Yeah.
So now that hits both of the things because I like Magic and I want to play on mobile.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
That's going to take over a lot of my time.
Mana Strike.
Mana Strike. Yeah.
Cool.
And I still haven't seen an official release in North America
Nope.
for Arena of Valor.
No.
Valor's Reach.
Valor's Reach, which I don't even know.
So we were talking about this the other day because I
Yeah.
was playing it on my phone.
You were playing it on your phone, yeah. Like,
Oh, because it was available in the Canadian Android App Store,
Yeah.
but not Apple
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So I guess
It's cool.
I think I guess it's still in beta.
It's literally Hearthstone.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah,
but
it's just
with some changes and stuff like that. There are some very cool things, but there's this interesting aspect where a lot of times people complain about like mana, and they're like, "Oh, I wish we had a similar system to Hearthstone and whatnot."
I don't disagree, but
And
continue.
yes, well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, right? Is this uses it, and it's cool, and it's really great, and they've adjusted things based on that, right? It's
I
been
bet.
balanced.
I mean, hearing Beej talk about Puzzle Quest is always wild.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Vryn Wingmare, it's a 12 flyer for 18 it's not even
crystals
mana,
or whatever.
crystals,
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
but yeah, it's super cool. There's still people playing it, and it like I enjoyed it. It was like Magic the Gathering light.
Yeah,
It was
but
very
that's
neat.
I look forward to when it actually gets released.
yeah, because they haven't really talked a lot about it. I don't even know if that's what the final name is, but that's like in house, right? Like that's actually
don't
being
know.
made. At least
I don't
it's-
believe so.
I have it installed on my phone still.
I believe it was with a publishing partner, or development partner, much like
this?
Mana Strike.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that
let's-
people in house were working on the story aspects of it.
Seismic Games.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
As a side note,
Good news. There's a brand new version available for download. Cool.
people are saying that Mana Strike is
Oh.
more like more like Clash Royale than Auto Chess.
Really
Okay.
interesting.
Well, they've got so actually now it seems to be called a different thing.
Oh,
It's called
Magic-
Magic Spell Slingers. Early
So, yeah.
access.
Oh yeah, because it's still not actually released yet. So I
Yeah.
look forward to downloading it someday. Anyway, that was all just an entertaining
You got me.
digression. Yeah, goofed on. No, okay. The actual new way to play Magic, Pioneer.
Yeah.
Which, generally speaking, I'm pretty excited about the prospect of. So Wizards announced this kind of out of nowhere, that there was a new format, and do you know how long it's been since they introduced Modern? It's been a very, very long time.
16 years, I think they said, or something like that.
Well,
Well, it can't have been 16
No,
years since they introduced
modern is 8 years old.
8. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
sorry.
it covers
Covers about 16
20
years.
No, it covers
it's-
almost 20 years.
No,
oh, no.
No. It's
Magic was in 1993. Modern started in 2003. Pioneer starts in 2013.
yes.
That's the 10-year.
Yeah,
Right,
those are the
okay.
10-year
Yeah.
jumps.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a new format. It is similar to Modern, but it is with a smaller card pool. So it's sort of similar to Extended used to be, or, there's many different ways you could use to describe it. The TLDR is everything from Return to Ravnica forward, and everything from there up until today. And currently, the only thing on the ban list is the 5 fetch lands.
And to note, only standard sets. So none of the Masters sets are legal in this format. Only sets that came out and existed in the standard environment.
So yeah, none of the Master sets and none of the conspiracy or
Yeah, no ancillary product.
Yeah, yeah.
Any of the mainline sets that would have been legal in Standard are now legal in Pioneer. And so there was some initial consternation, which is still carrying on to an extent, because
People want to break the format.
well,
Is that what you're getting at?
No,
or?
I'm going more with people with that. It's it's Pioneer versus Historic.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at.
Right,
Yeah.
so you can't play Pioneer on Arena.
You should be able to.
Arena, I agree, because Arena only goes as far back. They have cards as far back as Kaladesh apparently programmed in, but
Yes.
it doesn't go far enough back to play Pioneer on Arena, and so the Arena team introduced Historic as a way to use your cards that are no longer in Standard, and they were very clear in that it's like, this is just like another fun bonus way they said they consider it another fun bonus way to play on Arena, like Singleton or Momir. It's just like, yeah, you can still use those cards in this like fun bonus thing. And people were like, well, what about is there paper support for Historic? And Wizards is like, why? It's just this, to them, it is just this goofy Arena format. And so then when they announced Pioneer, and they're like, this is serious. This is a brand new thing. We're taking this just as seriously as Modern. We've got Pro Tour level events coming forward. We're going to have Magic Fests that are Pioneer.
It's on Midgo.
Yeah.
With leagues and stuff.
And people were like, but why that and not Historic? And it's like, well, that's two different things, to be honest, and Historic is like not even meant to be. Anyway, so that after Pioneer got announced, there was a lot of like, why isn't Pioneer on Arena? How can we expect you'll take this more seriously than Historic? I think they've made that fairly clear, but whatever. So there was a lot of back and forth about that. And then people got pretty excited about it because it's a bold new world with very few cards banned, and which they've said will be changing. Basically, they're like, look, we don't, apart from the fetch lands, we're not going to start with a ban list. You just go.
Yeah.
And then we'll start banning stuff. So this, by the way, this was just announced earlier today that they had said that they were going to sort of, that the first bannings would be, it's actually this coming Monday. It's the day that you are hearing this podcast, right? So it's the day that this episode airs. And then they were just going to ban whenever they felt like it. But because people are so into Pioneer that they've already started planning paper events around it.
Well, they have data.
Yeah.
Too.
And because people are so excited about it, they need to be able to plan for it. So Aaron Forsyth said, okay, so actually what we're going to do is the BNR announcements for Pioneer are going to start on that Monday and happen every Monday for the rest of 2019.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether or not something changes. It could be like, well, it's Monday, no changes in Pioneer this week.
Yeah.
But it could also be like, well, it's Monday, 12 changes in Pioneer this week, right? They're going really fluid with it, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think.
What have you been making of it?
So it's super exciting. Pioneer has been really, really great because people are looking at it in multiple different ways. For a lot of people like myself, it's like, oh man, I could build that old standard deck that I loved from that one rotation and beef it up with some cool things.
A lot of people have been
Yeah,
sort of doing that.
Yeah,
with it,
and then for other people, they're just like, I can build a version of my favorite modern deck and change some of the cards out and see what I can do there. And then for other people, it's been a playground to build completely new things, and whether that be this super busted thing or this just pet jank kind of thing, it's open ended for everybody, and it's been so popular now in comparison to standard that SCG came out and canceled the standard pro tour that they were doing, or the
Invitationals.
Invitational, yeah. And are replacing it with Pioneer.
Yep.
So the first one is on November 15th.
Yeah.
And it's wild that it just like shook that way, and because people were just like not as interested, which is interesting enough because Oko was also very powerful in Pioneer.
I mean, that's what
now.
people are already pointing out, that it could be that Oko is banned in Pioneer before it's banned in Standard.
Yeah, which is wild.
yeah, I can see that.
Because Oko could be banned as early as today, as of the time you're watching this, but Oko in Standard won't be banned until the 17th.
Yeah.
Or 18th or whatever day it is.
I liked Sam Black had a couple tweets that basically, and I'm going to be paraphrasing because I don't recall his exact wording, but it was basically like, in a format with essentially no ban list, your job should be to break it. Like if you think, well, why isn't this card banned? This card should absolutely be banned. Then build a deck with that card and prove why.
Yeah.
Like if his sort of reasoning was that you're doing it wrong if you are not intending to have something from your deck be banned, which obviously you can build however you want. But that's sort of his reasoning, is like, it's wide open. Build something busted.
Yeah. Well, what's kind of become very interesting with it is right now, most formats or most like new things when they come out, it's like aggro or like control tend to like aggro starts off the strongest, and then control at the end of it, or like mid range tend to like overrule it. And right now, what's the most powerful is combo and min range in Pioneer, which is pretty wild. So it's like combo. It's obviously why the Jeskai Copycat is like the big powerful thing.
Felidar Guardian has to be on that day one.
Yeah,
ban list.
and that's the thing, is a lot of people are like, do you ban Saheeli? Do you ban Felidar Guardian? You ban the Guardian.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like the top two most popular decks are 4-color Copycat and Jeskai Copycat. 4-color Copycat adding green just to get to ramp up there faster.
Like Copycat was already a powerful deck in Standard, such that Felidar Guardian got banned. You know what it didn't need is 3 mana Teferi.
Yeah, that card's real good.
Like 3 mana Teferi in and of itself obviously is very powerful. I don't think it needs to be banned, but having this already very oppressive standard deck with bonus 3 mana Teferi is just unreasonable.
Well, and like I had never even thought of it before, but what we experienced when we did the Pioneer stream was the power of Teferi and Spell Queller.
Oh.
It is a messed up combo where you can if you're not familiar with it, Spell Queller comes in and counters whatever spell your opponent's casting, right? Or the 4 mana or lower goes underneath Spell Queller. Now you've got your Teferi out, and if you want, you can bounce your Spell Queller, or really have the Spell Queller die, or whatever you want. And because Teferi's static ability says you can't cast things at instant speed, you just can't get the spell back.
Yeah, whosever spell was exiled under Spell Queller would ordinarily get to cast it for free when Spell Queller leaves the battlefield, but in this case they don't because of Teferi's static ability that just says that you can't do that.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, and so for a lot of things, even too, if you get your Spell Queller, or if you got your Teferi high enough, you could -3, just bounce your Spell Queller, draw a card, have a counter spell now in hand, and your opponent still doesn't get to cast that thing that's under it, and you've got this recurring counter spell that you can just keep using. It's wild.
Gross.
So basically most are either going like Jeskai or Bant featuring red for Saheeli is kind of like the way that a lot of those decks are going. And then for the mid range, it's Sultai, because you've got access to it basically runs kind of like a rock deck. You know, you've got your Vraskas.
Is anybody running Villainous Wealth?
I don't think so.
It's too cute. I just love that card. Okay, sorry.
It might be a deck that comes though, but
Right, Vraska, every Vraska's been good.
Yeah, Vraskas. Then you've got your Okos, and green and black specifically has access to the best removal in the format right now. So you've got Abrupt Decay, which is just very, very good. You've got Fatal Push. You've got Assassin's Trophy. So it's a lot of stuff like that, and then you just have value cards that sort of get you. So like even Sultai even runs like Baby Jace, and it just because it's Baby Jace, right?
Yeah.
You can run any of like the really you can run like Flash Sphinxes and stuff like that to just be beaters as you hit somebody down. A couple of them I think have also been running, because you're just running this critical mass of Planeswalkers in it as well. Heart of Kirin, because did you know that Oko with 6 loyalty counters makes piloting a Heart of Kirin very, very easy? In case you're not aware, you can remove a loyalty counter from a Planeswalker to pilot Heart of Kirin.
Right.
But that's the thing, though, is none of this is necessarily unfair, because there's answers to a lot of this stuff. It's just, do you want to play up against it is a lot of people's things. There's decks like Is It Phoenix, which is more or less the same Phoenix list, but just does more because you have access to a lot more just like random spells.
I heard you could just do a mono red Phoenix deck.
You can, yeah. I don't.
This is the Arclight Phoenix from Guild of Ravnica?
Yeah.
The one that comes back from your graveyard if you've cast 3 or more spells before your combat step.
Yeah. A number of people are playing. Golos is still very popular in this one.
Oh yeah, right. Hey, Field. I got it right that time. Field of the Dead, not banned in Pioneer yet.
Yeah. People are either choosing to go the Field of Dead route or the Mazes End route, because you can Mazes End with all the sweet guilds and all the ways to fetch gates and stuff like that.
That's sweet.
And you can turbo fog your way through it.
Is Mazes End a gate?
I don't know.
No.
But Mazes End functions where you can grab your last gate to win.
But
right?
but you can circuitous route for gates. And you can get them, and then Golos hits any land.
Yeah, Golos can grab you.
Golos can get you Mazes End. All right.
So Bant Spirits is a thing, because you've got access to a very big nucleus of spirits from the Shadows block. The Spirits was actually just a deck in that standard format as well.
Oh, Shadows over Innistrad?
Yeah, like
right. With Drogskull Captain?
I don't think Drogskull Captain was in there. That was the Spirit Lord. It was Rattle Chains was like the super one that a lot of people ended up liking.
Really?
Rattle Chains, yeah. I mean, and Spell Queller are in there. There was effectively, I think it's Mausoleum Wanderer, that was a 1-mana 1/1 that kind of functioned similar to the mono blue Siren Storm Tamer. Where you could sack it to counter spells and stuff like that. Which, speaking of, every mono deck is also getting color deck is getting a lot of love too, because Devotion is a thing, because you've got Theros.
Because Theros is in.
Mono red is okay right now. A lot of mono red decks are just kind of going on the back of Torbran.
Not to be confused with Torbjorn.
Yeah, because I think it was Emma Handy that wrote an article about it, where the way you look at it is, if you're playing with Torbran, right, you can have, let's say you have a 5/5 and it hits something. It deals 7 damage. Now, let's say instead you have like 3 1/1s and they hit something. That's 9 damage.
Yeah.
So it's the idea
go
of just
wide.
sort of, you go wide with these kind of strategies. Mono blue is still just popular because mono blue, it runs very similar to mono blue tempo.
So you've got Terramander and the Cloud Djinn or Cloud Tempest Djinn.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Like basically Autumn Burchett's mono blue deck. Yeah, okay.
And then you've got, for the control side of things, Azorius control is really powerful. It turns out being able to cast Supreme Verdict at instant speed with your Teferi is pretty gnarly. It's an uncounterable spell on top of that too.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty strong. And the last one that I haven't seen it pop off, and I cannot tell you the exact line of it, is Vannifar pod shenanigans.
Really?
So there
yes.
is a line with Vannifar that you can effectively just win with. Because you have access to cards like Corridor Monitor, who is a 2. I mean, it doesn't matter what it's a 2 CMC card
that untaps a creature.
That untaps a creature. You have Bounding Krasis at the 3 mana slot, which also untaps a creature. I cannot remember what you do at the 4th mana slot. I think you can then go grab from using having a 2 mana thing. You can also sack into Renegade Rallier from Kaladesh, which then goes and grabs back the Corridor Monitor that you just sacrificed to go get it.
Cool.
Breaching Hippocampus from Theros is the 5 mana one that untaps her. Hippocamp, yeah. And then you can do things like, once you get up to the 6 mana slot, it's Bellowing. It was from Origins. It was the green mythic. That it's like a 6 mana 6/6 that when you enter the battlefield, you get to search for a 3 CMC thing and put it onto the battlefield.
Woodland
Bellower. Thank you. And you go grab a Renegade Rallier or a Bounding Krasis, and you just pop off into the moon.
I want to see this happen.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That sounds amazing.
So pod is a thing, but it's
the air
fair
quotes.
But it's fair pod because Vannifar has summoning sickness.
Right.
So you need to protect her. A lot of people, like, the idea is you want to use things like Elvish Mystic or I think some people have been running the Goose as like a one shot.
The Goose.
But yeah, most people run it as like a Bant list. And it's cool. So that there's so many decks.
Yeah.
And I was looking down on my way here, the breakdown, the highest percentage played deck is 4-color Copycat at 4.5%.
Wow, that is low.
That's low, right?
All right.
So it's exciting.
Cool. I know that the Highlander guys were talking about the theory of an Aristocrats deck because they knew that people would ask them about Aristocrats.
Right, sorry.
And now, of course, because Innistrad block is the last block not in Pioneer, you lose out on Blood Artist and Falconwrath Noble. But there are some less good but still all right Blood Artist type effects. There's the Zealport Cutthroat, and there's another one.
From the most recent
Vindictive Vampire, I suppose. It's 4 mana.
It's the black and the white from
Cruel Celebrant.
Cruel Celebrant.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's some sort of Aristocrats build in there somewhere. Judith as well.
Yeah,
there's something.
The build.
It's not. Hasn't sorted itself out yet.
There's not quite the Aristocrats like drain you for one kind of deck, but so if you're looking to play Aristocrats, you're playing, which is the one deck that I did forget to mention, is Rally. Rally the Ancestors is the big popular deck, which obviously focuses around Rally. The main reason, and this is potentially a card I don't think we'll see banned, but is like I'm gonna say is definitely on a watch list because Rally the Ancestor warped a format almost, I would argue, to a bigger level than Oko is right now.
As a reminder, this was from Khan's block. It's from Paper Forged? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So it's X white for an instant. Return each creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile those creatures at the beginning of your next upkeep, and then you exile Rally the Ancestor. So basically you just sack a whole bunch of stuff, and then you rally and you get all of it back, and then you sack it all again.
Well, and it's got access to a lot of really powerful stuff right now. Stitcher's Apprentice or whatever from Ravnica. It's the 1-mana 1/1 that when it enters and when it dies, you mill 3. And so a lot of
Stitcher's Supplier.
Stitcher's Supplier, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cards like that. Glowspore Shaman, things that are just, you're basically just throwing stuff so quickly into your bin, and at any point your opponent taps out, you rally for like a bajillion with your Nantucket Husk on board, and you either just kill them through that, or you kill them through like slow like ticks and stuff like that. Like there's so many ways, but like Nantucket Husk is the card that a lot of people look for as an Aristocrats card because it has a free sacrifice ability.
Yeah, that's the 2 and a black for a 2/2 zombie insect, and you sack a creature to give it +2/+2 until end of turn.
Yeah,
So yeah. Just get that through and then bring everything back to the graveyard. Hey, everyone, onto the battlefield. Now get in this husk.
It's cool.
What have you been playing? Have you been playing it?
I've been playing a little bit. I haven't actually had a ton of time lately, but I was really big into the Mardu Pyromancer list that I ran on Friday. It was a lot of fun. A little bit like, it's tough to run a deck that runs a tremendous amount of X1s in a format that's like full of go wide strategies. So a lot of people are running things like Sweltering Suns or Anger the Gods.
Which was also because that Elves deck was sweet, but maybe too fair.
Yeah, that's sort of it. Yeah, so I think if I am going to get in, I really want to sit down and play some Bant Spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a really fun deck, or
Cool.
the Vanafor Pod list. I'm a really big fan of Pod, but the biggest hurdle for a lot of people is obviously it's not inexpensive right now to play, and B is the availability of cards on Mitgo, where it is a land of digital cards that has a supply.
And it's so unknown how things could fluctuate depending on... I mean, there's some that I think are safe bet. Like, I'm positive Felidar Guardian's going to get banned, but you don't really know.
Yeah, I think,
and
like,
especially with them, they're like, they said it will stabilize in 2020, but they're like, okay, well, I guess starting Monday, we're going to check in every week and see what happens.
My guess for the first ban, it will be Felidar Guardian, Aetherworks Marvel.
Even though it wasn't featured in any of the decks you mentioned.
No, I just think it's one of those ones that not a lot of people are playing because they just sort of know. This deck is so... Aetherworks Marvel is a dumb deck. Like,
because that also got banned in Standard, the Marvel.
It's a very neat deck. And if you're not aware of what it is, it's like anytime a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy while it's up. But that doesn't matter. The thing you do have though is access to all these energy creating cards, and when you have it, you pay 6 energy. You spin the wheel and look at the top 6, and effectively what that says is you put an Ulamog or an Emrakul. Most of the time, it's going to be an Emrakul into play, and just win kind of on the spot there because you have the ability to get this Aetherworks Marvel with enough energy on like turn 3.
Yeah, because the Marvel itself costs 4. It's a legendary artifact, so you can only have the one. But then, whenever a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy. You pay 6 energy. Look at the top 6. You just get to cast it for free.
Yeah, and it's cards with like Attune with Aether.
Yeah.
And Aetherworks Marvel, or no, Aether Hub and stuff like that just sort of give you this free energy, because at no point, I mean, you need like a forest or whatever, but like it's very easy to accrue energy, and that was the one thing that Wizards never kind of figured out until it was too late, obviously, and everything was out the door, was how powerful these resources are. So I think Aetherworks Marvel will probably end up going, and I don't know what else. It's hard to say. I think Mono Red's fine.
Do you think they might ban Oko and Pioneer just for catharsis?
I don't think Oko's gonna go.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's gonna go. I think especially since
if they're not gonna ban Teferi and Pioneer.
Yeah. Teferi is frustratingly fair. he's powerful.
Yeah.
He does a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but he's not unbeatable because 9 times out of 10, a lot of the times I've gone up against it is like they're playing him, they're bouncing your creature, and so it goes to 1, and then you kill it next turn. So it kind of basically is like a 3 mana bounce fog in a way, which is still very powerful. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to be. I can see Twitter now in the future and people being like, "See, Teferi got banned. How could you know nothing, Jon Snow?" But I don't know. I think it'll be Guardian, Aetherworks, Marvel, and I'm just gonna throw a random one out there. Let's go with.
Oh, I wanna hear this.
I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna go and say that
Ben's reviewing the meta decks.
I just need to. Yeah. I'm gonna go and say that. Right, Treasure Cruise. That's not really a shot out of the dark.
Okay.
Treasure Cruise or Dig will get hit.
Right, because
Those
both
are
of
my-
those are currently legal in Pioneer too. All right, cool. Well, I look forward to seeing where Pioneer goes in the next, I guess today, as the time you're hearing
Yeah.
about it, but just where it goes in the next couple
We'll
weeks.
be sipping
It's-
coffee and watching our Twitter feeds.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be the guy who says, "Bring it to Arena."
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the other big thing is that then it's like you've announced this new format. It's not as much as Modern, but it's still a lot because we have
$150.
on Midgo.
Yeah, on
Wow.
Midco to buy in.
We know from sort of murmurings from people who worked on Arena that even though to the people in the beta never saw it, they have as far back as Kaladesh. At least at one time was functional in Arena.
Yeah, 'cause
Presumably that would
I
need some
mean,
sprucing up.
We played Kaladesh.
Not in Arena. We played Amonkhet.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
we never saw it.
Yeah.
We've been told it was there.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know, do we think that they're gonna add all the way back to RTR?
They should.
In their conversation,
I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a very hard decision to make, and I get that it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it should be done like overnight, but I definitely feel like people are starting to get pretty frustrated, even more so in these last few weeks with Arena, with people being just sort of frustrated and tired of Standard, with Oko going on right now.
most people are really frustrated too about Brawl.
Brawl.
going
Yep,
away.
that's what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
they're frustrated with the fact that they brought Brawl to Arena, and for a week people enjoyed it and really liked it, and now it's just like, well, now you can only play every Wednesday, and it's just like,
What a weird day of the week.
okay, well, I'm just gonna go play any other game because now I can't play Brawl, and Standard sucks, and drafting
Is broken.
Drafting sucks as well. Like all three big things on this, and that's the biggest thing. Sorry, the biggest thing with Magic. The thing that everybody loves about Magic is that it offers you so many different ways to play it, but Arena doesn't.
War of the Spark Limited is back, so you can draft War of the Spark.
Sure.
You can't lose to
You can't lose
Secret Keeper.
was there, but no,
Every time I try to put that deck together, it never happens, and I
Oh,
get
really?
destroyed.
That's funny.
Like every time I finally cave, and I'm like, okay, I'll be the monster this time, and I like put
Try to
together
make it
like
happen.
the black blue deck,
Yeah.
you know. Then someone else with just a better version is like Lucky Clover, Secret Keeper, ha ha ha, and I'm like, well, why did I even bother trying? Why did I lower myself to this if it wasn't going to be worth it?
Yeah,
But-
Magic's
for-
just in a weird spot.
For me,
Wow, I've never seen that card before, Paul. Paul just put up a card called Secret Keeper, not Merfolk Secret Keeper,
Kamigawa
just
card.
Secret Keeper.
three and a blue for a 2/2 spirit.
Like,
as long
I'm
as you
just
have
doing
more
what you're
cards.
telling me to do, okay?
As long as you have more cards in hand than each opponent, Secret Keeper gets +2/+2 and has flying. Neat. Anyways, what I was gonna say is,
Weird looking
for
bird.
me
Yeah,
at least.
that guy should. I can understand why he's a secret. That he should keep that.
Yeah.
That's a scary secret.
Reminds me of the Cleric Beast.
Sorry, James.
I was going to say for me, because I know a lot of people will say, well, where do you draw the line with Arena? Pioneer, for me, that is the line. I don't think that Modern, I mean, if they want to bring it to Arena.
I never thought we were going to
neat.
get Modern.
But I never ever thought that we were going to get Modern. And I would have been okay with Historic being the eternal format on Arena if Pioneer wasn't then announced a few weeks later as a clearly superior format. Like, it's just going to be better. It's already seen more support than Historic ever will, right? As Graham said, it's this. I don't know if goofy format is necessarily the right term, but
if I said goofy, maybe I was incorrect.
But
the arena team was very clear in that they were their goals for Historic, and people have sort of applied what they wanted it to be onto Historic, and the arena team has never agreed to that.
I agree. But IMO, get rid of Historic, bring in Pioneer, and
It's a lot of card interactions.
Sure it is, but it's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, they exist on Magic Online, and I understand that is an entirely different program, but it's not impossible. It just requires time and money, of which they have.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I mean,
they just do.
I mean, fundamentally,
And again, I'm not saying have it ready by the end of the year, but it should be on your roadmap.
yeah, like fundamentally, at some point, they're going to have to switch from Mitgo to Arena. They're going to have to commit.
Frankly, people would just be like playing so much Arena if Brawl was just there the whole time. You don't even need to add a ladder.
Yeah.
But like if there was just like there's just like in the way that there's constructed
You can just
whatever.
play.
You just play like not even like the rank, but like there's like the you can earn coins or whatever from just playing constructed or
Standard.
Yeah, standard event. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual thing's
It's
called.
it's actually just called play.
Sure.
Yeah.
On the side, when you
Yeah.
click play and it brings up the sidebar of all the ways to play, it's just play.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
So if they had
the
just that for
unranked
Brawl,
standard.
like-
yeah.
Well, there's just that for Brawl, that for Standard, that for Draft, and that for like it doesn't. I get it. They're a big business. There's lots of moving pieces, but just from a perspective of a user, it just doesn't seem like it's that hard. Give us the ways that we want to be able to play Magic, and we will be happy.
Well, it's like I guess it's just like the consistent tinfoil hat theory that it's just like Arena is supposed to be there to push Standard, which maybe it is or
Sure.
whatever, right? But
That's
it's like-
fine.
But so by doing those, people are afraid people won't play Standard and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, but that's
They'll still give you money.
They'll still pay you money to play your game, and I don't know. It's
Speaking
hard.
of paying Wizards money, we also wanted to talk a bit about, they announced a whole swack of Commander stuff.
Yeah.
yes,
So
I was very happy. I've received so many tweets.
it's a lot of Commander stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next mainline set to come out is Theros Beyond Death. After that, the next mainline set is Ikoria.
Yes.
With Ikoria, there is going to be an Ikoria Commander product of 5 decks. Then, with something, they look different from the Commander decks, judging by this graphic. But the point is, there's 5 decks of some sort of Commander product related to Ikoria.
Which, by the way, for Ikoria, Shot in the Dark, Host Augment.
Ooh, that could be fun.
I'm saying Host Augment is coming back
In Black Border.
In Black
in
Border?
Black Border.
That would make me super happy.
I would like that.
I
You did that.
Yeah,
You did
I-
a
that
cool
was my
overlay.
prediction. Was that my prediction was that Host Augment could work in
They
Black
talk-
Border. It's no. I don't think it's any weirder than Meld.
It's definitely
And
not.
from,
No.
from a
It's
rules
from
perspective.
Also from just a aesthetic perspective, it's
Yeah,
better.
you just. I mean, you could flavor. I'd be curious to know how they'd flavor it, so it's not as goofy as it is for Unstable.
Yeah.
but
Well, because Ikoria's whole thing, I think they said, was like monster making, and it was a land
Yeah,
of
it's just a
monsters.
Land of
Is it?
Giants.
Land
Is
of
it?
Giants.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
I haven't seen anything about it.
Or
yet,
no,
but-
behemoths. That's the word they
Sure,
used.
yeah. I remember that. I thought they talked about making monsters.
So then in the third quarter, Zendikar Rising comes out, and they're releasing two Commander decks with Zendikar Rising.
Yeah.
So it's weird because there's Zendikar Rising in the third quarter, and there's the main set of the fourth quarter. Those both have 2 Commander decks that they're releasing with them.
Yeah.
Which seems different from whatever the Ikoria Commander product is.
Oh,
because that's 5 decks.
I thought Ikoria was the 5. It sounded like we were getting 9 total pre-constructed decks.
That's what
next
it
year.
looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just
And-
weird that Zendikar and the quarter 4 main set we don't know the name of yet. That has 2 decks with each of them.
Yes.
But Ikoria is 5 decks.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's a different sort of thing.
Well, that just sounds like the normal, yearly commander release, right, which is generally 4 or 5 decks. I assume that's what that is. It's just earlier in the year.
Between those things, also in the third quarter,
Yeah.
is Commander Collection
Yes.
Green, which is sort of like a signature spell book, like they've done for Jace and Gideon.
Yep.
And so it's like a small thing of like 8 or 10 cool reprints.
Yes.
That'll look fancy, I assume, and they're green cards. Commander Green. What do you think? Sylvan Library?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. what
Well,
else
no,
is big.
they reprint. I mean, maybe they did because they reprinted Sylvan Library.
Who was in that?
so-
Who was in Commander's Arsenal? What was her name? The lands lady,
Frelly?
Lost but Seeking.
Oh, Azusa.
Asuza.
Yeah. So they showed off one card.
Oh, did they?
They didn't say. Well, they didn't show off the card. They showed off art on the video, and so it was this picture that most people were like, "It's Yisan."
It's Yisan. It is Yisan.
But what Gavin was saying when he was talking about it too was that a lot of these these card arts will showcase very popular green like planeswalkers or creatures, but not all of them will be creatures. A lot of them will be like and he said he kind of alluded that one is that's Yisan, but it's not Yisan. It's like Yisan casting an iconic green spell.
What do you think? Call the Conclave?
Call the Conclave. Some people were saying it could be like
'Cause it looks like he's- looks like he's getting
survival
Survival of the
instincts
Fittest?
or survival of the fittest. Yeah.
Because the Call of the Conclave, it's like he looks like he's getting mana from the creatures.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, it's like how you have, there's lots of burn spells that have Chandra on them.
Yeah,
but
or like
aren't.
Chord of Calling.
That's what I was going to say.
Horde of Calling.
Chord
yeah.
of Calling would actually make super sense because
That's
it's like
what
a
I
pun.
meant. That's what I meant.
Was that what you meant? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Chord of Calling.
Yeah,
What did
Chord
I
of-
say?
I don't even remember. You
Yeah.
said Chord of Calling.
Oh, I did.
Nice,
Okay.
Good catch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Court of Calling?
Yes. Chord. Because that's what I. That's what I thought.
Get it? Because he's like playing and like he's calling.
Yeah.
I wonder if they went with the double whammy. I think that.
I think they did. Yeah.
All right, and then what else?
Then also, they just announced this the other day at time of recording. Commander Legends.
Yes.
Oh my god! I'm so excited for this.
So this is what's in the mystery boosters at GP Magic Fest. At Magic Fest Richmond. They announced there were going to be these mystery boosters for a mystery thing that you could play. And it turns out that thing is actually going to be Commander Legends, which
Oh,
is...
I did not realize that was those were the same things.
Yeah, so that's releasing in the fourth quarter. The pre-release event at Magic Fest Richmond, you won't know anything that's in the set.
Yeah. And so it's a draftable
It's draftable.
commander.
Yeah, it's cards that are legal in Commander in a draftable set.
So it's not your draft. So this is what confused me, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you're not drafting cards and then playing a game of Commander. You're just doing regular ass limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those cards are legal in Commander,
set-
and there's a lot of cards geared
Towards commander. Sure.
The set will have 70 legendary
Legendaries.
creatures.
Yeah.
Oh,
20 cards per booster pack.
Okay.
And will be draftable. There will be a ton of reprints, which is something the format has desperately needed, it says here. And
Yes.
Baron Sengir will get a brand new card called Sengir the Dark Baron.
Okay.
So this is quarter 4 2020?
Quarter 4 2020, but it's draftable in like a few weeks.
Apparently? Maybe there's no date for it. It's on this infographic as being in quarter 4, but I don't know exactly when.
maybe they're just giving a card pack away or something, and that's how they're doing
That seems like a really big lead time if we're drafting it at Richmond.
Want to go to Richmond?
I heard that there was going to be stuff like there was going to be stuff at like it's not only draftable at Richmond. You will be able to play it elsewhere.
Reading the article explains the cards.
Okay.
So the Ikoria Commander thing, that's the 2020 Commander set.
Okay.
That's the 5 pre-con decks for 2020.
Okay.
That's coming out on April 24th in 2020.
Okay.
But they're tied to Ikoria.
Sure.
And so it's 5 decks instead of 4 and 71 brand new cards.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
Okay.
Those
Then-
cards won't be legal in with
in standard.
In standard.
No. Yeah.
But there will be some cards from Ikoria in the Commander
In those
deck.
decks. yeah.
Probably.
Right, and I guess they'll be themed with Ikoria.
Yeah.
They'll fit
So
in.
then in Zendikar, with Zendikar Rising, there's a kind of commander deck that's more like the Planeswalker decks that they've been doing now, where it's just this is a deck rather than the the full thing with the giant card and everything.
Okay.
So has anybody else been like Zendikar Rising, and then there's got to be like some sort of like brackets or subtitle before something horrible happens again?
I'm just so what else can go wrong?
Yeah,
for poor old Zendikar.
Zendikar Rising. Oops, there's actually a fourth Eldrazi.
Yeah.
that nobody mentioned before.
Like what could go? I'm guessing it's going to be something vampire related.
It could just be a fun set. Maybe they're
there's
just all
lots of,
hanging
like-
out and having fun, man.
there's lots of vampires on Zendikar anyway.
No,
that's
but
just
like
the thing.
vampire, like I don't know. Cletus is doing, Cletus got turned into an Eldrazi dude, I think, but I can't remember.
But yeah, it's just like they've literally like had their entire plane destroyed at least twice.
I suspect this is going to be like, well, because it's called Zendikar Rising, right?
Yeah,
so
it sounds
I
like
suspect this is like a rebuilt and recovered or recovering Zendikar that is probably much more like the adventure world of the original.
Yeah.
Like there's no
set.
big thing.
Like
be cool.
I suspect that this is going to be back to like what Zendikar was sold as originally before the Eldrazi busted out.
I think that's why I'm enjoying Eldraine so much. Is this is such a low stakes set?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like Nicol Bolas is like destroying anything. It's just like, well, the king got turned into an elk. Whoops! What could ever happen?
All right. Did we
It's
figure
the-
anything else out here?
This Zendikar is
Two
kind of a
things.
rebuilding
All right.
season.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Commander Collection Green it is indeed going to be 8 cards reprints. There's 2 versions, foil or non-foil. Shocking nobody at how expensive that one will probably end up being. So then, yeah, Commander Legends. So 20 card packs with one foil and 2 legendary creatures in every pack.
Okay.
He says, I'll get closer to the details of how you draft it as we get closer, but rest assured it works great and you will feel like you have drafted a commander deck.
Okay.
Oh.
And
So then do you play it as a commander deck?
No, you just play it as a.
You just play
I
it
would
as a
assume
draft
you
deck.
just
Okay.
play it as maybe it's a little. I mean, if it's 20 cards per pack, maybe we're playing a little bit bigger of a deck.
It might be. I'm curious if maybe this will be like a return to heads up commander that ended up getting like no support and kind of faded out.
or it could end up being like Conspiracy, where you do an 8-person pod and play two
two
multiplayer
fours,
games of
yeah.
4. Yeah. And it doesn't actually specify the release date on this article.
They also did showcase one other piece of art, which was
So confused.
Jeddah. I do not know who. I'm going to mess up their name, but they're a very old iconic character from the Magic lore, and is a planeswalker. I cannot remember their name. They wouldn't say who it was, but a lot of Twitter was speculating, and it seemed very clear that
Is
it was
that the
this
thing that looks
person.
like a giant pitcher plant that they released?
No, they also couldn't figure out that. I have a feeling that's probably like Tendershoot Dryad or something like that.
Anyway, yeah, apparently Commander Legends is coming out quarter 4
2020.
2020.
Sick.
Yeah. So what's the did you see the thing about the surprise boosters? Is that also in that article?
No? So maybe I'm full of lies, but I thought that is exactly what that was.
Who knows? It'll forever be a mystery, much like the boosters. Ba-da-da.
More info to be released November 7th at Magic Fest Richmond. Okay, I guess, no, yeah, they have 15 card. Okay, so ignore that thing that I said earlier. That's not Commander Legends.
Okay.
Okay. You can, if you could all delete your comments correcting me. that I know that you made when I
when you
said
said
that.
it.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Okay, well, that's all sounds cool.
There's a lot of good. There's some bad stuff in Magic, and there's some good stuff in Magic. And
Turns
the
out
it's
Magic
like
wheel
life.
turns on.
Yeah, just like life.
Just like life.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for Tap Tap Concede this week. Ben, thanks for coming in and giving us your primer on Pioneer.
Anytime you want to let me jab about Constructed for a while, I'm here.
Definitely. We should do that more often, honestly, because I know there's a lot of people who are keen to, well, not hear us yammer on about Limited, honestly. Until next time, a reminder, of course, that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom, the wonderful people at Card Kingdom. Go to cardkingdom.com/LRR. Ask for a button right now it has words on it. I think we're still on upkeep triggers our self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is-
that one just came
started?
out, just started
Yeah.
quite recently.
I think so.
Really quickly, because I don't want Paul to roll the outro yet, because I want to quickly mention that this will be the last episode for a few weeks.
Oh, yes, right.
Because
of Desert Bus.
Because of Desert Bus. So Desert Bus is coming up as of the time that you were probably watching this, whether it be Monday or Tuesday. It's coming up this Friday. Twitch.tv/desertbus. If you don't know what that is, go to desertbus.org. You can find out all about it there. And that's where we will be living for the next week of our lives, 2 weeks of our lives. So you should go check it out. And that's why you won't see another episode of Tap Tap until later in November.
Yeah. And when it does return, it will still be, like everything we do, brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. So, until next time, I've been Graham.
I've been James.
And I've been a yawning Ben for some reason. Ugh.
Paul is on tech, and Heather gets these online for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.